Marcus Chen walked down the bright white corridor of the Galactic Health Station. His boots made soft sounds on the metal floor. The station was attached to the trade vessel Meridian Dawn, where he worked as a cargo specialist. Today was just another routine day or so, he thought. The medical bay door slid open with a gentle hiss. Inside the room smelled clean like hospitals back on Earth. Marcus had been to this place 3 times before. Every 6 months, all humans traveling through alien space needed updated shots. The rules were strict. No exceptions. A tall alien stood near the medical table. She had smooth blue skin and large dark eyes. Her name was Shareth, and she belonged to a species called the Vexery. Marcus had seen her before during his last visit. She always seemed calm and professional. "Good morning, Marcus Chen," Shareth said in perfect English. Most aliens use translator devices, but Shareth had learned several human languages. "Please sit on the table. This will only take a few minutes." Marcus climbed onto the padded table. It adjusted automatically to his height. Through the window, he could see stars stretching endlessly in every direction. Sometimes he still could not believe he was actually in space. 5 years ago, he had been working in a warehouse in Seattle. Now, he traveled between worlds. Shareth moved to a large cooling unit on the wall. Inside were rows of small vials filled with different colored liquids. She picked up a scanner and checked Marcus's medical file on her datapad. Her 3 fingers moved quickly across the screen. "You are due for your standard immunization update," she said. "Protection against Krellian flu and Thoraxian skin parasites. Very routine." Marcus nodded. He had stopped asking questions about alien diseases years ago. The names all sounded like something from a bad science fiction movie. But the shots worked. He had never gotten sick once in all his time in space. Shareth reached into the cooling unit. Her hand moved between 2 identical-looking vials. They were both the same size, both filled with clear liquid. The labels were written in Vexery script that Marcus could not read. She grabbed one and placed it in the injection gun. Marcus looked away as she pressed the gun against his arm. He still did not like needles, even the advanced alien ones that supposedly did not hurt. There was a soft click, and a cold sensation spread through his shoulder. "All done," Shareth said. "You may feel slightly tired for an hour or 2, but that is normal. You can return to your duties." Marcus started to slide off the table. Then he noticed something strange. Shareth had frozen in place. She was staring at the cooling unit. Her blue skin was changing color. Purple streaks appeared across her face and neck. "Something wrong?" Marcus asked. Shareth spun around. Her large eyes were even wider than usual. She looked at the empty vial in her hand, then back at the cooling unit. Her breathing had become rapid and shallow. She whispered, No. Before Marcus could say anything else, Shareth rushed to the door. She pressed her hand against the control panel. The door locked with a heavy metallic sound. Then she activated the privacy screen. The window turned opaque. No one could see inside anymore. "What are you doing?" Marcus felt his heart starting to beat faster. "Why did you lock the door?" Shareth turned to face him. The purple color had spread across her entire body. In Vexery, this meant extreme fear or panic. "I made a mistake," she said. Her voice was shaking. "A terrible mistake." Marcus stood up from the table. "What kind of mistake?" "What did you give me?" Shareth held up the empty vial. Her hand was trembling. "This was not the human immunization serum. I grabbed the wrong vial. I gave you compound helix 7. "What is that?" Marcus asked. "Is it dangerous?" "It is a banned substance," Shareth said quickly. "It was created by the Vexery military 3 cycles ago. It was designed to enhance soldiers, to make them stronger, faster, more resistant to damage. But the testing went wrong. The subjects became violent. They could not control themselves. The Galactic Medical Council outlawed it completely." Marcus felt like ice water had been poured down his spine. "You gave me a military enhancement drug." "An illegal one. It was never tested on humans," Shareth continued. She was pacing now, moving back and forth across the small room. "Only on Vexery subjects. I do not know what it will do to your biology." Your species is so different from mine. So take it out, Marcus said. Give me something to neutralize it. There is no neutralizer, Shareth said. The compound bonds with cellular structure within seconds. It is already spreading through your bloodstream. In a few minutes, it will reach your brain. Marcus sat down heavily on the table. His mind was racing. What happens then? I do not know, Shareth admitted. In Vexery subjects, the compound caused aggressive mutations, increased muscle density, enhanced sensory processing, but also loss of impulse control, violent tendencies. The test subjects had to be terminated. Terminated, Marcus repeated. The word hung in the air like a threat. If anyone discovers this, Shareth said, I will face mind-wipe punishment. That is the penalty for administering banned compounds. They will erase my memories, my personality, everything that makes me who I am. I will become an empty shell. What about me? Marcus asked. What will they do to me? Shareth met his eyes. Forced quarantine. Medical dissection. They will want to study what happens when a human is exposed to compound helix 7. They will cut you open while you are still alive to document every change in your biology. Marcus felt his stomach twist. So we are both dead if anyone finds out. Yes, Shareth whispered. No one can know about this. No one. Then Marcus felt it. A warmth spreading through his chest. It moved down his arms into his legs, up into his head. His skin felt hot. His heart began beating faster and faster. Sweat broke out across his forehead. Something is happening, he said. I can feel it. Greth grabbed her medical scanner. She ran it over Marcus's body. The device beeped rapidly. Her face turned even more purple. Your heart rate is increasing. 120 beats per minute. 140. Your body temperature is rising. The warmth became heat. Marcus gripped the edge of the table. His vision began to blur at the edges. Every sound in the room seemed suddenly louder. He could hear the hum of the cooling unit, the buzz of the lights, even Shareth's rapid breathing. What is happening to me? Marcus gasped. Shareth was frantically searching her datapad now. Her fingers flew across the screen. I am looking for any records of human exposure to compound helix 7. There must be something in the medical database. There must be. Marcus's vision cleared. Then it became sharper. He could see individual scratches on the metal walls. He could count the rivets holding the ceiling panels in place. Everything was suddenly in perfect focus. I can see everything, he said. Everything is so clear. Shareth looked up from her datapad. Her expression was one of pure horror. The compound is integrating with your system. The transformation has begun. And I have no idea how to stop it. Part 2. Transformation protocol. Marcus's body felt like it was on fire. The heat spread from his chest to every part of him. His muscles tensed and relaxed in waves. Sweat soaked through his shirt. He gripped the medical table so hard his knuckles turned white. Your heart rate is at 180 beats per minute, Shareth said. Her voice sounded distant, even though she stood right next to him. This is dangerous. Human hearts are not designed for this level of stress, I noticed Marcus managed to say through gritted teeth. His whole body was shaking now. Every nerve ending felt like it was being rewired. Shareth placed her hand on his shoulder. Despite everything, her touch was gentle. I am so sorry, she said quietly. This is my fault. I was distracted. There was a message from my homeworld. I was not paying attention when I selected the vial. Akiza looked at her. Even through his pain, he could see the guilt on her face. Her skin had turned a deep shade of purple that made her look almost human in her misery. Why are you even here? He asked. On this station, I mean. Most Vexery I have met are soldiers or traders. Shareth pulled her hand back. She moved to the medical console and began typing. I left the Vexery Dominion 8 years ago. My people value military strength above all else. From childhood we are trained to fight, to conquer, to dominate. I did not want that life. I wanted to heal, not harm. So I took a position here, far from my homeworld where my family cannot reach me. Sounds like you gave up a lot, Marcus said. The shaking in his body was starting to slow down. The heat was still there, but it felt more controlled now. Less like burning, and more like energy. I gave up everything, Shareth said. My status, my family, my future in the Dominion. If I return now, especially facing charges for this, I will be mind-wiped. Everything I have built here, every memory of freedom will be erased. I will become what my family always wanted. A perfect, obedient Vexery soldier with no thoughts of my own. Marcus tried to sit up. To his surprise, it was easy. Moments ago, he could barely move. Now his body responded instantly. That is barbaric. That is my culture, Shareth said. She turned back to him. How do you feel now? Different, Marcus said. He held up his hand and flexed his fingers. They moved smoothly, but something was off. Everything felt too responsive. Too quick. My body feels like it does not belong to me anymore. Let me run more scans, Shareth said. She picked up the medical scanner again. As she reached for it, her hand slipped. The device fell toward the floor. Marcus's hand shot out. He caught the scanner before it had fallen more than a few inches. His arm had moved so fast he barely saw it himself. He stared at the scanner in his hand, then at Shareth. That is impossible, she whispered. Your reaction time was measured in milliseconds. Even Vexery soldiers with years of training cannot move that fast. Marcus set the scanner down carefully. His heart was racing again, but this time from shock, not pain. What else is changing? Shareth ran the scanner over him again. The device beeped and chirped as it collected data. Her eyes widened as she read the results. Your muscle density has increased by 30%. Your bone structure is reinforcing itself. Your sensory processing speed has tripled, and your cellular regeneration rate is accelerating rapidly. In English, please, Marcus said. You are becoming stronger, faster, and your senses are sharper, Shareth explained. But unlike the Vexery test subjects, your mental function appears stable. There is no degradation in your frontal cortex. No signs of aggression markers in your brain chemistry. Marcus listened carefully. As she spoke, he realized he could hear other things too. Voices in the corridor outside. Footsteps several rooms away. The hum of the ship's engines, deep below them. I can hear things, he said. Things far away. Its enhanced hearing, Shareth confirmed. That was one of the primary effects in the original subjects. A soft beep came from the medical console. Shareth's skin immediately turned a lighter shade of purple, almost white with fear. No, she breathed. What is it? Marcus asked. Dr. Colvin, the chief medical officer, has scheduled an inspection, Shareth said. Her voice was tight with panic. He is checking all medical bays in 2 hours. There have been reports of improper storage protocols. He will review all records, all inventory, all recent procedures. Marcus felt his enhanced mind working faster than before. He will see that you used a vial of compound Helix 7. He will know what happened. Yes, Shareth said, and we will both be taken into custody immediately. Then we need to cover it up, Marcus said. He stood from the table. His legs felt strong, too strong. He had to concentrate on moving normally. Can you alter the records? I can change the digital files, Shareth said, but the physical inventory will not match. The vial is gone, and there may be security footage. Show me the security system, Marcus said. Shareth pulled up the station's security network on her console. Marcus moved beside her. His new eyes could process the information incredibly fast. He saw the camera locations, the recording schedules, the backup protocols. There he pointed. That is the footage from this room. Can you access it? Not without authorization, Shareth said. Dr. Colvin controls all security footage. What about the storage logs? Marcus asked. Can you make it look like the vial was destroyed in a disposal accident? Shareth's fingers moved across the console. Possibly. If I backdate the disposal record and create a minor inventory discrepancy report, it might work. But Dr. Colvin is thorough. He will question everything. Then we need a story, Marcus said. Something believable. They worked together for the next hour. Shareth altered the medical records to show that Marcus had received the correct immunization. She created a disposal report for compound Helix 7, claiming it had been destroyed as required by Galactic Medical Council regulations. She even generated a minor error report about cooling unit temperature fluctuations to explain any irregularities. Marcus helped her rehearse their story. If questioned, they would say everything had been routine, nothing unusual. Just another day in the medical bay. As they finished, Marcus felt a sudden spike of pain in his head. He grabbed the edge of the console to steady himself. "Something is wrong," he said. Shareth scanned him again. Her expression darkened. "Your vision is changing. The compound is affecting your optical nerves." Marcus closed his eyes. When he opened them again, the world looked different. The walls seemed transparent. He could see the wiring behind them, the pipes carrying water and air. He looked at Shareth and saw her circulatory system glowing beneath her skin. Heat signatures. He was seeing heat. "I can see through things," he said. "I can see thermal patterns." "That was not one of the documented effects," Shareth said. "Your human biology is interacting with the compound in unexpected ways." Marcus turned toward the door. Through the walls, he saw shapes moving. 3 figures walking down the corridor. One was much larger than the others. He recognized the thermal pattern. "Thoraxian, Dr. Colvin." "He is coming," Marcus said. "And he is early. He has 2 security officers with him." Shareth's skin turned white. "We are not ready. The files are altered, but we have not tested the story. If he questions us, we will make mistakes. Then we do not let him question us," Marcus said. He looked around the room with his new vision. He could see everything now. The air circulation system, the pressure seals, the atmospheric controls. "I have an idea, but you need to trust me." "I already trust you," Shareth said. "I have no choice." Marcus moved to the wall panel that controlled the medical bay's atmospheric system. His enhanced hearing told him exactly where Dr. Colvin was. 30 meters away, 20 meters, 10 meters. Marcus pressed a specific sequence of buttons. Alarms began blaring. Red lights flashed throughout the medical bay. "Atmospheric contamination detected in Medical Bay 7, the computer announced in a calm voice. "All personnel evacuate immediately." Decontamination protocol initiated. The door unlocked automatically. Emergency procedures overrode all other protocols. Marcus and Shareth stumbled out into the corridor just as Dr. Colvin arrived. The chief medical officer was a massive Thoraxian. He stood nearly 3 meters tall, with thick gray skin and 4 arms. His face was covered in bony plates. "What happened here?" he demanded. "Ventilation seal failure," Marcus said quickly. "Started leaking coolant gas into the air. We barely got out in time." Dr. Colvin looked at Shareth. "Is this true?" "Yes," Dr. Shareth said. Her voice was steady despite her fear. "The alarm triggered during Mr. Chen's immunization. We followed evacuation protocols immediately." Dr. Colvin studied them both. His small eyes moved from Marcus to Shareth and back. "The timing is suspicious. I came here to inspect your procedures and suddenly there is an emergency. Would you like me to create fake emergencies more often to seem less suspicious?" Marcus asked. "Because that seems counterproductive." One of the security officers made a choking sound that might have been a laugh. Dr. Colvin's bony faceplates shifted in what might have been annoyance. "The bay will be sealed for decontamination. We will inspect it tomorrow, once it is cleared," of course Dr. Shareth said. Dr. Colvin turned and walked away. The security officers followed him. Marcus and Shareth stood in the corridor until they were out of sight. "That was brilliant," Shareth whispered. "How did you know damaging the seal would trigger evacuation?" "I could see the atmospheric system with my new vision," Marcus said. "I saw which seal was already weak. I just gave it a little push." "You saved us," Shareth said. "But we only have until tomorrow. Once the bay is decontaminated, Dr. Colvin will return, and he will find the truth." Part 3. Covering conspiracy. Marcus sat in a storage compartment 3 levels below the medical bay. The space was cramped and dark, but his enhanced vision made that irrelevant. He could see perfectly in the darkness. Every box, every tool, every supply container was visible to him as if someone had turned on bright lights. Shareth sat across from him. She had brought her portable medical scanner and was reviewing the data from his transformation. Your body temperature has stabilized, she said quietly. But your cellular activity is still accelerating. The compound is still integrating with your system. How long will it take? Marcus asked. His voice sounded strange to his own ears. Everything sounded different now. He could hear frequencies that humans were not supposed to detect. The electrical hum of the ship's power grid. The movement of air through ventilation ducts. The heartbeats of crew members walking past their hiding spot. I do not know, Shareth admitted. In Vexery subjects, the integration took 72 hours. But you are human. Your biology is reacting differently to the compound. Better in some ways. Worse in others. Define worse, Marcus said. Shareth looked at her scanner. Your sensory input is increasing beyond what your brain was designed to process. You are hearing things, seeing things, detecting stimuli that human neurology never evolved to handle. Eventually it will overwhelm you. Your mind will shut down from information overload. That is very worse, Marcus said. He flexed his hands. They felt strange. Too strong. He had accidentally crushed Shareth's datapad earlier when trying to hand it to her. The metal frame had crumpled like paper. How do I stop it? You cannot stop it, Shareth said. But perhaps you can adapt to it. Human brains are remarkably flexible. More flexible than Vexery brains. You have something we call neuroplasticity. The ability to rewire neural pathways. If your brain can create new connections fast enough, you might be able to process the enhanced sensory input.
Marcus repeated.
That is not very reassuring. It is the best I can offer, Shareth said. Her skin had returned to a normal blue color, but Marcus could see the stress in her body language, the tension in her shoulders. The way she kept glancing at the door. I am sorry. I wish I had better answers. Marcus was about to respond when he heard something. Voices, distant but clear. He held up his hand for silence. Shareth immediately went quiet. The medical bay is sealed, a deep voice said. Marcus recognized it. Dr. Colvin. But the inventory records show discrepancies. Someone altered the storage logs within the past 3 hours. Could it be a system error? Another voice asked. This one was higher pitched. One of the security officers, Dr. Colvin, said, these changes were deliberate. Someone is hiding something. And I believe it involves the human and Nurse Shareth. Marcus's heart rate increased. He looked at Shareth. They know, he whispered. Colvin knows something is wrong. Shareth's skin turned pale purple. We need to leave the station. If we can reach the Meridian Dawn, we can request transfer to another vessel. Claim a family emergency. It will stop us before we reach the ship, Marcus said. He was still listening to the voices. Dr. Colvin and the security officers were moving through the corridors. Searching, they are looking for us right now. Her voice cracked with fear. Marcus thought quickly. His mind was working faster than ever before. Options and scenarios played out in his head at incredible speed. We need information. Why is Colvin so interested in this? A minor inventory discrepancy should not warrant this level of investigation. Unless he knows about Compound Helix 7, Shareth said slowly. Unless he was expecting something like this to happen. Marcus turned to her. What do you mean? Shareth was quiet for a moment. When I accessed the medical database earlier, I found something strange. The files on Compound Helix 7 were encrypted with military-grade security. That is unusual for a banned substance. Most prohibited compounds have open documentation so medical personnel know what to do if exposed. You think someone wants to keep the information secret? Marcus said. I think someone wants to keep experimenting with it, Shareth said. And they are using medical stations like this one as cover. Marcus felt a chill run down his spine, despite the heat still coursing through his body. You think there have been other accidents like mine? I think they were not accidents at all, Shareth said. The voices were getting closer. Marcus could hear Dr. Colvin ordering security teams to search the lower levels. We need to access Colvin's private files. If there is a conspiracy, we need proof. His office is on the command level, Shareth said. It is heavily secured. We would need his authorization codes. Can you hack the system? Marcus asked. Not without triggering alarms, Shareth said. The station's security AI would detect any unauthorized access immediately. Marcus listened carefully. He could hear everything happening on the station now. Conversations in the mess hall, arguments between crew members, and something else. A private communication channel, encrypted. He focused on it. The sounds were distorted, but his enhanced hearing could pick out words. Subject 7 has integrated successfully, a voice said. It was not Dr. Colvin, but someone else. Someone speaking Vexery with a military accent. The human is showing enhanced capabilities without the aggressive mutations. This confirms the hypothesis. Excellent, another voice responded. This one was Dr. Colvin. Retrieve the subject immediately. The Crucible facility is prepared to begin full analysis. What about the nurse? The first voice asked. Dispose of her, Dr. Colvin said casually. She has served her purpose. Marcus grabbed Shareth's arm. We need to move now. They are coming for us. And they plan to kill you? Shareth's eyes went wide. How do you know this? I can hear them, Marcus said. They are using an encrypted channel, but my hearing has gotten so sensitive I can pick it up. Shareth, they are talking about me. About other humans. They called me Subject 7. There are others like me. Other humans who were given the compound, Shareth said. Her voice was barely a whisper. Yes, Marcus said. And they were all taken to something called the Crucible, a research facility. This was not an accident. You were supposed to give me that injection? Shareth stood up so fast, she hit her head on the low ceiling. She did not seem to notice. They used me. They knew I would be careless. They knew I was distracted by messages from my homeworld. They set me up. Can figure out who later, Marcus said. Right now, we need to get that proof and get off this station. They moved through the storage area toward an access tunnel. Marcus led the way using his thermal vision to avoid patrols. His enhanced hearing told him where every security officer was stationed. They moved silently through the ship's maintenance corridors. Where are we going? Shareth whispered. The data core, Marcus said. All communications on the station are routed through there. If we can access the core, we can download Colvin's encrypted messages. That will be our proof. The data core is in the most secure section of the station, Shareth said. We will never get past the security checkpoints. We'll not go through the checkpoints, Marcus said. We will go through the walls. They reached a maintenance junction. Marcus could see the data core on the other side of several bulkheads. He placed his hand on the metal wall. His enhanced strength had grown significantly. He wondered if he could actually punch through the reinforced steel. Do not even think about it, Shareth said, as if reading his mind. Breaching the hull would trigger explosive decompression. We would both die. I was not going to punch it, Marcus said. I was going to find a better way. He examined the wall with his enhanced vision. He could see the internal structure, the support beams, the wiring, the ventilation shafts. There, that access shaft leads directly to the data core. It is too small for most species, but I can fit. What about me? Shareth asked. You stay here and monitor security channels, Marcus said. Warn me if anyone comes close. Marcus opened the access panel and crawled inside. The shaft was barely wide enough for his shoulders. He moved carefully, his enhanced senses guiding him through the darkness. He could feel every surface, every edge, every vibration in the metal. After several minutes of crawling, he reached the data core chamber. Through a ventilation grate, he could see rows of servers humming with activity. The room was empty. Most data core maintenance was done remotely. Marcus pushed the grate open and dropped silently to the floor. His enhanced muscles absorbed the impact easily. He moved to the nearest access terminal and pulled out a data chip that Shareth had given him. It contained a hacking program she had written years ago when she first arrived at the station. He inserted the chip and activated the program. The terminal screen filled with scrolling code. Marcus watched carefully. His enhanced mind could process the information faster than any normal human. He saw patterns in the code, backdoors, security vulnerabilities. Within minutes, the program broke through the encryption. Files began downloading to the data chip. Communications between Dr. Colvin and someone at the Vexery Military Command. Reports on human subjects, medical data, transfer orders, and then Marcus saw it. A list of names. 7 humans who had been given compound Helix 7 over the past 6 months. All of them had been transferred to the Crucible facility. All of them were listed as research subjects. The last name on the list was his own. Marcus Chen. Subject 7. Status pending retrieval. No, Marcus whispered. This cannot be real. An alarm suddenly blared through the station. Red lights flashed in the data core chamber. Marcus grabbed the data chip and ran for the ventilation shaft. Security doors began closing throughout the station. Marcus Shareth's voice came through his comlink. They know you are in the data core. Dr. Colvin has ordered all security teams to converge on your position. You have maybe 2 minutes before they arrive. Marcus crawled through the shaft faster than he thought possible. His enhanced speed and strength carried him through the narrow space. He burst out of the access panel and landed next to Shareth. Did you get it? She asked. Marcus held up the data chip. I got everything. And it is worse than we thought. Much worse. Behind them they heard the sound of running footsteps. Dozens of security officers were coming. Dr. Colvin's voice echoed through the corridors. Seal all exits. The human and the nurse are not to leave this level. Use lethal force if necessary. Marcus looked at Shareth. We are trapped. Shareth's skin had turned almost white. Then we fight. I do not want to hurt anyone, Marcus said. They are going to kill us, Shareth said. We have no choice. Marcus knew she was right. But as he heard the security teams getting closer, he also heard something else. Human voices. Crew members from the Meridian Dawn. They were talking about the lockdown. They were confused, angry. They did not understand why their cargo, Specialist, was being hunted like a criminal. And suddenly Marcus had an idea. We do not need to fight, he said. We need witnesses. Part 4. The human factor. Marcus pulled Shareth toward the main corridor. She resisted pulling back. What are you doing? She hissed. The security teams are coming from that direction. Exactly, Marcus said. We need to be seen by as many people as possible. If this is a conspiracy, then they want to take us quietly. We need to make this public. They burst into the main corridor just as a group of human crew members from the Meridian Dawn walked past. Marcus recognized them. Chen from engineering. Rodriguez from navigation. Thompson from the mess hall. They all stopped and stared. Marcus Chen said, What is going on? The whole station is on lockdown. They said you attacked someone. That is a lie, Marcus said loudly. He made sure his voice carried down the corridor. More people were stopping now. Humans and aliens alike. Dr. Colvin has been conducting illegal medical experiments on humans. He gave me a banned military compound without my consent. Now he wants to silence us before we can report it. That is insane, Rodriguez said. Dr. Colvin is the chief medical officer. Why would he do that? Because someone is paying him too, Marcus said. He held up the data chip. I have proof. Communications between him and Vexery Military Command. Records of other humans who were experimented on and disappeared. The crowd was growing larger. Marcus could hear excited whispers. Shocked conversations. His enhanced hearing picked up every word. Some people believed him. Others thought he was crazy. But everyone was paying attention. That was when Dr. Colvin arrived with a dozen security officers. The massive Thoraxian pushed through the crowd. His forearms were spread wide, making him look even more intimidating. Marcus Chen, he said in his deep voice. You are under arrest for unauthorized access to secure systems and assault on medical personnel. I did not assault anyone, Marcus said. He stood his ground even though every instinct told him to run. Dr. Colvin was nearly 3 times his size. And the only crime here is yours. You have been experimenting on humans with a banned compound called Helix 7. Ridiculous, Dr. Colvin said. You are clearly suffering from a psychotic episode. Security restrained him. 2 officers moved forward. Marcus's enhanced reflexes kicked in. He saw them move in slow motion. One reached for his arm. The other went for a restraint device. Marcus sidestepped both easily. His movements were fluid and precise. The officers stumbled past him and collided with each other. The crowd gasped. Several people stepped back. Marcus had moved faster than any normal human could. Everyone had seen it. What was that Chen from engineering said? How did you move like that? The compound, Marcus said. It enhanced my physical abilities. That is what it was designed to do. But Dr. Colvin did not tell me he was giving it to me. He used me as a test subject. Enough of this nonsense, Dr. Colvin roared. Security, use force. More officers moved in. Marcus did not want to hurt them, but he had no choice. When the first officer grabbed for him, Marcus gently caught the alien's wrist and redirected the momentum. The officer spun away and crashed into a wall. The second officer swung a stun baton. Marcus ducked under it and tapped the officer's knee. Just a light touch, but with his enhanced strength it was enough. The officer's leg buckled and he fell. Marcus was not trying to harm them. He was simply defending himself. But to everyone watching, it looked like he was effortlessly defeating trained security personnel. The crowd was murmuring louder now. Some were pulling out recording devices. He's right, someone shouted. No normal human can do that. Something is wrong here, another voice added. Dr. Colvin's faceplates shifted in anger. He pointed one of his forearms at Marcus. That human has been exposed to a dangerous compound. He is a threat to everyone on this station. We must contain him immediately for everyone's safety. Then explain this, Marcus said. He held up the data chip again. This contains encrypted communications between you and Vexery Military Command. It shows you have been targeting humans specifically. 7 of us so far? Where are the other 6, Dr. Colvin? Where did they go? Those communications are classified medical files, Dr. Colvin said. You had no authorization to access them, because they prove you are a criminal, Marcus shot back. You are working for the Vexery military. You are conducting unauthorized experiments on humans, and when those experiments succeed, you ship the subjects to a facility called the Crucible. The crowd erupted in angry shouts. The human crew members pushed forward. Is this true? Rodriguez demanded. Have you been experimenting on our people? This is preposterous, Dr. Colvin said. I am a licensed medical professional. I would never conduct unauthorized research. Then let us see your files, Chen said. Let us see the records for those other humans Marcus mentioned. Medical records are confidential, Dr. Colvin said. I cannot share them without patient consent, convenient, Marcus said. Especially since those patients have all disappeared. A new voice cut through the chaos. Everyone stand down. Captain Reeves pushed through the crowd. She was the commanding officer of the Meridian Dawn, a tall woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. She looked at Marcus, then at Dr. Colvin. Someone explain what is happening here, and explain it now. Marcus spoke first. Captain, I was given an unauthorized injection of a banned military compound. Dr. Colvin knew what he was doing. This was not an accident. I have evidence that he has been conducting experiments on humans for the Vexery military. 6 other humans have already been taken to a research facility. That is an outrageous accusation, Dr. Colvin said. This human broke into the data core and stole classified files. He is the criminal here. Captain Reeves held up her hand for silence. Marcus, you look different. Your movements are not natural. What exactly did they give you? A compound called Helix 7, Marcus said. It was designed to enhance Vexery soldiers. It increases strength, speed, and sensory perception. But it had severe side effects. The test subjects became violent and unstable. The Galactic Medical Council banned it 3 years ago. If that is true, then you could be dangerous, Captain Reeves said. I could be, Marcus admitted. But I am not. The compound affects humans differently than Vexery. I am in complete control of myself. I am not violent or unstable. I am just enhanced. Captain Reeves studied him carefully. You just fought off 6 security officers without seriously injuring any of them. That shows remarkable restraint for someone supposedly suffering from aggressive side effects. Because humans are not Vexery, Marcus said. Our brains work differently. We can integrate this compound without losing ourselves. Fascinating theory, Dr. Colvin said sarcastically. But it does not change the fact that this human is a threat. He must be contained immediately, no, Captain Reeves said firmly. First, we are going to review that evidence Marcus claims to have. Then, we are going to contact the Galactic Medical Council and Earth Confederation authorities. This is going to be done by the book. You do not have the authority to interfere with station medical protocols, Dr. Colvin said. Marcus is a member of my crew, Captain Reeves said. That gives me authority. Now we are going to my ship. All of us. And we are going to sort this out in a calm, professional manner. Dr. Colvin's security team moved to block the corridor. I cannot allow that, Dr. Colvin said. The human is too dangerous to be transported. And we have a problem, Captain, Reeves said. She pulled out her communicator. This is Captain Reeves 2, all Meridian Dawn personnel. Report to the main corridor immediately. We have a situation. Within minutes, the corridor was filled with humans. Crew members from the Meridian Dawn appeared from every direction. They stood behind Marcus and Captain Reeves. A wall of humanity facing Dr. Colvin's security team. We're starting a diplomatic incident, Dr. Colvin warned. Started it when you experimented on my crew without permission, Captain Reeves said. Now we are leaving. If you try to stop us, it will not end well for you. Dr. Colvin looked at his security team, then at the crowd of angry humans. Marcus could see the calculation in the Thoraxian's eyes. He was outnumbered. And if violence broke out, it would destroy any chance of keeping the conspiracy secret. Fine, Dr. Colvin said. But I am filing formal charges with the Galactic Peacekeepers. This human will face justice, good Captain Reeves said. Let the Peacekeepers investigate. I am sure they will be very interested in your activities as well. The crowd parted, and Captain Reeves led Marcus and Shareth toward the docking port. The human crew surrounded them, forming a protective barrier. Dr. Colvin and his security team did not follow, but Marcus could hear them speaking in quiet, urgent tones. They were making plans. This was not over. As they walked, Shareth leaned close to Marcus. Thank you, she whispered. You saved my life. We saved each other, Marcus said. This is not finished yet. Dr. Colvin will try something else. He cannot let us expose this conspiracy, and we make sure the truth gets out before he can stop us, Captain Reeves said. She had obviously overheard them. Marcus, how enhanced is your hearing exactly? Very, Marcus admitted. I can hear conversations several rooms away. Good to know, Captain Reeves said. She did not seem surprised. When we get to my ship, I want you to tell me everything. Every detail. And I want to see that data chip. If what you say is true, then we are dealing with something much bigger than a corrupt medical officer. They reached the Meridian Dawn and sealed the airlock behind them. For the first time in hours, Marcus felt safe. He was surrounded by his people. Humans who believed him. Humans who would stand with him. But his enhanced hearing picked up something that worried him. Back at the station, Dr. Colvin was making a transmission. Not to galactic authorities. Not to the peacekeepers. To someone else. Someone speaking Vexery with a thick military accent. The human escaped with evidence, Dr. Colvin was saying. He has exposed the program. What are your orders? The response came through cold and clear. Eliminate all witnesses. Destroy the Meridian Dawn. Blame it on a reactor malfunction. The program cannot be compromised. Marcus grabbed Captain Reeves' arm. We need to leave now. They are going to blow up the station and blame us. Captain Reeves' eyes went wide. How do you know that? I heard them, Marcus said. They just gave the order. We have minutes, maybe less. Captain Reeves ran for the bridge. Emergency departure, she shouted into the ship's intercom. All hands to stations. Prepare for immediate undocking. This is not a drill. The Meridian Dawn shuddered as the engines powered up. Marcus felt the ship pulling away from the station. Through his enhanced senses, he could feel every vibration, every system coming online. The ship was moving, but was it fast enough? Back at the station, Marcus heard a countdown. 10 seconds, 9, 8. Faster, Marcus said. We need more speed. The ship's engines roared. They cleared the station by 100 meters. Then 200. Marcus counted down in his head. 3, 2, 1. The station exploded. Hash. Part 5. Truth and Transformation. The explosion lit up space like a new star being born. Marcus watched through the viewport as the Galactic Health Station tore itself apart. Metal twisted and shattered. Debris scattered in every direction. Flames bloomed briefly in the vacuum before being snuffed out by the lack of oxygen. "Oh my God," Captain Reeves whispered. She stood frozen on the bridge, staring at the destruction. There were over 300 people on that station. Marcus closed his eyes. His enhanced hearing had picked up the screams in those final seconds. He would never forget those sounds. Dr. Colvin did this. He destroyed the station to cover up his crimes. "Did he survive?" Shareth asked. She had followed them to the bridge. Her skin was pale purple with shock. Marcus listened carefully. He focused his hearing on the debris field. Looking for life signs? Emergency beacons. Escape pods. "I hear 6 escape pods. Maybe 30 survivors total. Dr. Colvin is in one of them." "Only 30, Captain Reeves said. Her voice was hollow. 300 people dead. Just to silence us." "Not just to silence us," Marcus said. He pulled out the data chip. "To protect this. Whatever is on here is important enough to commit mass murder for." Captain Reeves took the chip. "Chen, get this data uploaded to the ship's secure server. Then make 3 backup copies and prepare them for transmission. If they want to bury this information, they are going to have to work a lot harder." The bridge crew moved with practiced efficiency. Within minutes, the data was secured and ready for distribution. Captain Reeves pulled up the files on the main screen. Marcus watched as she scrolled through the communications, the medical reports, the transfer orders. "This is worse than we thought," Captain Reeves said. "According to these files, the Vexery military has been testing Compound Helix 7 on humans for 8 months. You are Subject 7, Marcus. There are 6 others. All of them showed successful integration without the violent side effects that appeared in Vexery subjects." "Where are they now?" Marcus asked. Captain Reeves pulled up another file. "A facility called the Crucible. It is listed as a medical research station, but according to these coordinates, it is deep in Vexery space. Far from any galactic oversight. They are prisoners," Shareth said. "Being studied like laboratory animals." "Why target humans specifically?" Rodriguez asked. He had joined them on the bridge. "Why not test on other species?" "Because we are adaptable," Marcus said. The answer was suddenly clear to him. Humans evolved on a dangerous world. We had to adapt constantly to survive. That flexibility is built into our DNA. We can integrate foreign elements without rejecting them. The Vexery cannot. Their evolution made them rigid, powerful but inflexible. So they want to weaponize human adaptability, Captain Reeves said. Create human soldiers enhanced with Vexery military compounds. Soldiers they can control. But it does not work, Marcus said. I am enhanced, but I am still me. I still think like a human. I still make my own choices. You cannot weaponize free will. A warning alarm sounded. The communications officer looked up from her station. Captain, we are receiving a transmission. It is marked as Priority Alpha from the Galactic Medical Council. Put it through, Captain Reeves said. A holographic image appeared in the center of the bridge. It showed a tall, elegant being with silver skin and too many joints in its limbs. A Silvari counselor, one of the most respected species in the galaxy. This is Counselor Verith of the Galactic Medical Council. We have received distress signals from the station and reports of an explosion. What is your status? Captain Reeves stood at attention. Counselor, we barely escaped with our lives. The station was deliberately destroyed by Chief Medical Officer Dr. Colvin. We have evidence that he was conducting illegal experiments on human subjects using banned military compounds. The counselor's expression did not change, but Marcus heard their heart rate increase. That is a serious accusation, Captain. Do you have proof? We do, Captain Reeves said. Medical records. Communications between Dr. Colvin and Vexery Military Command. Transfer orders for human test subjects. All of it is documented. Send the files to my personal server immediately, Counselor Verith said. This matter requires urgent investigation. In the meantime, you are ordered to proceed to the nearest galactic peacekeeper station for debriefing. With respect, Counselor, I cannot do that, Captain Reeves said. My crew member, Marcus Chen, is exposed to Compound Helix 7. According to protocol, he should be placed in medical quarantine for study. I will not allow that. The protocol exists for good reason, Captain, Counselor Vareth said. Compound Helix 7 is extremely dangerous. We need to understand how it affects human biology. Then study the 6 other humans who were taken to the Crucible, Captain Reeves said. I am sure they would appreciate being rescued, but I will not hand over my crew member to be dissected. The counselor was quiet for a long moment. You are risking a diplomatic incident. They already created a diplomatic incident when they experimented on humans without consent, Captain Reeves said. Now we are just making sure everyone knows about it. Marcus stepped forward. Counselor, if I may speak. The counselor focused on him. Marcus felt those ancient eyes studying him carefully. You are Subject 7. I am Marcus Chen, Marcus said firmly. I am a human being. Not a subject. Not an experiment. And I am proof that humans can integrate Compound Helix 7 safely. I have enhanced strength, speed, and senses. But I am still mentally stable. Still rational. Still myself. That is precisely what concerns us, Counselor Vareth said. If humans can use this compound without the violent side effects, then it becomes a potential weapon. Other species will fear you. They will demand restrictions, or worse. Let them demand, Marcus said. I did not ask for this. It was forced on me, but I am not going to let anyone take it away or study me like an animal. I have rights. All humans have rights. And if the Galactic Council tries to violate those rights, then Earth's Confederation will have something to say about it. There was a long silence. Then Counselor Vareth nodded slowly. You speak with confidence for someone who was nearly killed today. I speak with the confidence of someone who knows what they are fighting for, Marcus said. Freedom, dignity, the right to exist without being someone else's experiment. Those are human values, and we will not compromise on them. Very well, Counselor Vareth said. You have made your position clear. I will present this matter to the full Galactic Medical Council. In the meantime, you are free to return to Earth space. But Marcus Chen, you must agree to voluntary monitoring. Regular medical checkups to ensure the compound remains stable in your system. I can agree to that, Marcus said. As long as the monitoring is done by doctors I trust, not vexery military scientists. It will be done by neutral parties under Council's supervision, Counselor Vareth said, and we will launch an immediate investigation into the Crucible facility. If there are other human subjects there, they will be rescued and given proper medical care. Thank you, Counselor, Captain Reeves said. The transmission ended. The bridge crew let out a collective breath. They had done it. They had survived, and they had exposed the conspiracy. Marcus sat down heavily. The adrenaline was wearing off, and he suddenly felt exhausted. Shareth sat beside him. You were very brave, she said quietly. You could have run, hidden, but you chose to fight for the truth. I chose to fight for what was right, Marcus said. That is what humans do. We do not always win. We are not always the strongest or the smartest. But we do not give up. We do not let others define us. We choose who we are. That is your true strength, Shareth said. Not the enhanced abilities. Not the compound. But your spirit. Your refusal to be broken. Over the next few days, the story spread across the galaxy. The destruction of the Galactic Health Station. The illegal experiments on humans. The conspiracy involving Vexery Military Command. News agencies broadcast the story constantly. Politicians gave angry speeches. Protests erupted on a dozen worlds. The Galactic Medical Council launched a full investigation. Dr. Colvin was arrested, along with 17 other conspirators. The Crucible facility was raided by Galactic peacekeepers. They found 6 humans there, all enhanced with Compound Helix 7, all alive and mentally stable, just like Marcus. The rescued humans were returned to Earth. They were given medical treatment and counseling, and they all showed the same. Remarkable result. The compound had enhanced their physical abilities, but had not affected their minds or their humanity. Where Vexery test subjects had become violent monsters, humans had simply become more capable versions of themselves. Scientists scrambled to understand why. The answer came from an unexpected source. A human xenobiologist named Dr. Sarah Chen, no relation to Marcus, published a paper explaining the phenomenon. Humans had evolved through constant environmental challenges. Their brains were wired for adaptability, for integrating new experiences and stimuli. The compound enhanced physical systems, but the human mind treated it as just another challenge to adapt to. It's not something to be overwhelmed by, but something to be incorporated and controlled. The paper changed everything. Suddenly, humans were not seen as victims or threats, but as partners in a new kind of medicine. Research teams from across the galaxy came to Earth seeking collaboration. If humans could safely integrate enhancement compounds that destroyed other species, then perhaps they could help develop better, safer versions for everyone. Marcus became the face of this new era. He gave interviews, spoke at conferences, demonstrated his abilities in controlled settings. But he was careful to always emphasize the same message. Enhancement was not about becoming superior. It was about remaining yourself regardless of what changed in your body. Shareth stayed with him through it all. She had been granted asylum by Earth Confederation and now worked as a lead researcher in human-alien medical collaboration. Together they studied the compound, looking for ways to help the other enhanced humans adjust to their new abilities. 6 months after the incident, Marcus stood in the observation deck of a new research station. This one was built by Earth Confederation and staffed by volunteers from multiple species. It was a place of healing and learning. It's not secrets and exploitation. Shareth joined him at the window. I received word from the Galactic Medical Council today. They have officially lifted the ban on Compound Helix 7 research, but only under strict ethical guidelines, and only with full informed consent from test subjects. That is good news, Marcus said. Maybe something positive can come from all of this after all. There is more, Shareth said. 14 other humans have volunteered for enhancement trials. They want to undergo the same process you did. And see what you have become, and they want to help push humanity forward. Marcus looked at her. What do you think? Should we allow it? That is not my decision to make, Shareth said. It is theirs. Yes, they are adults. They understand the risks. And they have the right to choose for themselves. It's very human of you, Marcus said with a smile. I learned from the best, Shareth said. They stood together looking out at the stars. Marcus thought about everything that had happened. The accident that was not an accident. The conspiracy. The explosion. The fight for truth. It had been terrifying and painful, and he would never forget the people who died on that station. But he had also learned something important. Humans were special not because they were stronger or smarter than other species. They were special because they refused to be defined by circumstances. They adapted. They survived. They chose who they wanted to be. The compound had given Marcus's enhanced abilities, but it had not made him superhuman. It had just made him more capable of being human, of choosing compassion over violence, of standing up for what was right, of protecting those who could not protect themselves. What are you thinking about? Shareth asked. I am thinking that humanity just evolved again, Marcus said. Not through genetics or technology, but through choice. We chose to remain ourselves. We chose not to become weapons. We chose cooperation over domination. And that is why you succeeded where the Vexery failed, Shareth said. Because you never lost sight of what truly matters. Not power, not enhancement, but identity, humanity. Marcus nodded. Through the window he could see Earth in the distance. A small blue world that had given birth to a species that refused to be anything less than itself.
Oh, no matter what the universe threw at them.
No matter how they changed or grew or evolved, they would always be human. And that was their greatest strength.